Evie. Come here, baby girl. Up. Come here. Wait. Up. Good girl. Yes. What a sweetie. What a sweetie. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. My name is AJ. I've been a pet groomer for 15 years, but I've been working with dogs since I was about 8 years old when I was baiting them in my mom's shop that she ran out of our house. So I've been working with dogs for a really long time, and today I'm going to show you how to do a teddy bear haircut on Evie. Evie's a really sweet doodle. I think she's a golden doodle, but I don't remember. I just know that she's a doodle. Just some sort of dog mixed with a poodle. We're going to do a 7 on her body, and then we're going to do a clip on her ears and her tail so that they're longer but not too long, and then we'll do a teddy bear face. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is nail trimming. I'm going to lift the table up so I can trim her nails and not have to break my back by bending over. I'm going to start with this foot. There you go. Try to get her to just stand in the middle of the table. Good girl. Yeah. She's a little bit of a nervous girl, but she's sweet. So when I'm cutting nails, the first thing I do is try to see if I can see the blood supply. Her nails are black, so I cannot see the blood supply. So the sign that I'm looking for is a hollowed out hook on the end of her nail. And once I've made my first cut, then I start looking at the pulp inside the nail to determine if I am close to the blood supply or not. If it's white and flaky, that means I've still got more room to cut, and if there's a moist, dark circle in the middle, that means I'm really close to the blood supply. If you're brave enough to do your own dog's nails, I've got a video, it's titled Cutting Dog Nails Perfect Every Time, and that will show you what I was just describing in much more detail, and also a more close-up demonstration of how to cut the nails. And if you're not brave enough, then reach out to me, and maybe I can be your pet groomer. Hey, that foot's all done. Good job, Evie. Now we'll do her back left foot. And we just repeat that same process for all the nails on each of the feet. Girl. She does not have dew claws. I don't believe on any of her feet. It looks like they've all been removed. And sometimes the doodles don't grow any in the back. Last foot. Okay. Nails are all done. Next step we're going to do is we're going to shave the insides of her ears. I shave the inside of the ears to get rid of all the hair that's growing on the inside of the ear but outside of the ear canal. And then I can safely pluck the hairs that are growing inside the ear canal and not accidentally pluck the ones that are on the outside. Okay. Now that the ears are shaved, I'm going to shave the pads. And for shaving the pads, there's a V-shaped little crevice below the main paw pad right here. And I'm going to keep my clipper blade within that V-shaped little crevice. A mistake that I could make would be to accidentally shave between the toes. And that creates a risk that I could cut the skin between the toes. So as long as I stay between this little crevice, just below the main paw pad, I will be safe. I won't risk cutting the toe skin or the skin between her toes, and yeah, that's what we want to do. That's all we want to do. You can shave between the toes, but that's a different look. It's called clean feet. A lot of poodles will get that cut, but doodles almost never do. So for Evie, we're just going to shave the paw pad. Alright, left 2 feet are done. Now let's do the right side. She has a few tangles or possibly some sap that's stuck in her paw pad, so I'm having to work at it and go from different angles in order to actually get it all shaped out. But it's all coming out really nicely. Okay, paw pads are all done. Blade temperature's still good. And now I'm going to shave her Sammy. I'm going to shave her belly and give her a nice little potty pat so that she doesn't pee on any of the fur on her belly right here. Blade's getting dry, and put some oil on it. finish shaving her belly now. Okay, her sanding in the bottom is all done. Now let's go ahead and shave her bum. Check temperature again. Just a little more. It would probably be okay, but I'm going to err on the side of caution. The bum is a really delicate area. You don't want to put too much temperature against the skin back here. Good girl, Evie. Good girl. Okay. Sanitary is shaved, pads are shaved, ears are shaved. Let's go ahead and pluck the hair out of her ears. And then I think I'm going to shave the majority of the hair off of her face, just to make drying her face a little bit easier. She is being such an angel. There hasn't been one step of this rough-in that she has been resistant for. And plucking the ears can be a little uncomfortable. She is just holding perfectly still. Yeah, what a sweetheart. What a sweetheart. Her left ear is a little dirty. And there is a little bit of pink coloration in the skin, which indicates a little bit of inflammation. So she might have either the beginnings of an ear infection or the end of an ear infection going on in her ear. Usually, getting the hair out, plucking the hair out, and cleaning the ear is enough to clear up something light like this. So I am not going to recommend a vet visit, but I am going to tell her owner to watch it and make sure that it clears up. Ears are plucked. I almost forgot to get a before picture. Before we trim her face at all, let's get a little picture. Evie. 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 Wait. You stay right there. Evie. Hey. Can you look at me? But wait. Hey. Stay. There we go. There we go. Now we are saving her ear lashes. Ear lashes. We're saving her eyelashes. So as I'm taking this clip-on over her head, I need to make sure that I'm very careful and that I don't accidentally cut her eyelashes. Then we have to start over on trimming them. So we're doing a 7/8 inch clip-on her head, and it goes right on top of the number 10 blade. And the way that I'm going to avoid her eyelashes is I'm just not going to touch her eyebrows at all. She's a little tangled. You can see my clip-on's having a hard time just kind of getting stuck as it's going through her head. That's because it's running into a tangle, but she's not too tangled, so it's still going through it. They're just really small ones. Okay, top of her head's all done. Now I'll come down her cheek, her muzzle, and her chin. And then repeat the process on the other side. Cheek first. Then the muzzle. And the chin. Okay. That is going to be all that we're going to do for the rough-in. Let's go ahead and give her a bath. Give me just 1 minute to turn on the camera in the bathing room, and then we'll keep going. Girl. Okay, another sip of some coffee. All right, Evie, let's head to the back. Okay, you jump up. Good girl. She is a pretty confident girl. Anxious dogs will not make jumps like that. So that's a really good sign that she's comfortable and confident in this process. Put your head over here. Let's put this leash on you. Okay. Alrighty. For this bathing process, I use this Pro Pet washer, which mixes the soap and the water for me, but it does require high pressure in order to do that. So I will use the bathing system to wash her body, legs, feet, tail, but I don't want that high pressure water on her face. So I'll turn it off, turn the water pressure down, rinse her face, and then wash it by hand. So I'm gonna get the water warmed up, and then we'll go ahead and wash her body. Girl. Evie, turn around, baby. Spin, spin. Okay, good girl. Okay, her body's all washed. Turn the bathing system off, and now I'm going to get the soap out of the line. Turn the water pressure down. And as I'm getting her head wet, I'm going to try to avoid getting water inside of her ears and inside of her nose. It's okay if water gets in her eyes at this low pressure, and it's okay if water gets in her mouth a little bit. Now, as I'm applying soap, I'm going to try to make sure that soap does not get inside of the ears, inside of the eyes, or inside of the nose or the mouth. And we just start lathering. She's got some eye goobers. Go ahead and scrape these out. And as I'm scrubbing her face and ears, any spot that I feel that doesn't lather properly, get some more soap. And if that spot happens to be dry, then I would put more water on it and then more soap. But you have to make sure that every single part of the head and ears lathers really well, otherwise it's not clean. Oh, hang on. What are you doing, silly? Okay, so she's starting to lick her lips, and I don't want her to lick the soap into her mouth, so I'm going to try to hold her mouth closed, prevent her from licking in this soap, and scrub off, or lather and scrub all around her nose and muzzle, get it all the way clean. Okay, her face is all washed. Now I'm going to rinse off her head, and I'm going to rinse her eyes as if I got soap in there. Pretty sure I didn't, but just in case, I'm going to use this low water pressure, and I'm going to make sure to rinse her eyes really well to make sure that there's no soap in there when I'm done. And as I come over the top of the head, I'm going to pin the ears down to try to avoid any water and soap getting inside of the ear canal. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Lift the hair up off of her eyes. Go ahead and rinse them one more time. I know, Evie. I know, baby, I'm sorry. Just gotta make sure there's no soap in there. And now I'll rinse over her muzzle, trying to not let any water get in her nose. And then I'm going to flip the ear open and rinse the hair on the inside, being very careful not to get any water inside of her ear. Same thing on this ear. Now, I made a little mistake just now. She was about to shake her head right after I rinsed her ears. What that means, I possibly got a little bit of water down in her ear. Go ahead and shake, baby. Shake. You want to shake? Maybe I didn't. If they want to shake their head after when you're rinsing on or around their ears, there's a chance you got water inside of the ear canal. You should let them shake because they can get it out really quickly and then it won't become a problem. She doesn't need to shake, so my guess is that she just felt the water on her ear and had the desire to shake, but didn't get inside of her ear canal itself. So now we're going to go ahead and rinse off the rest of her body. I'm going to start underneath this leash, make sure no soap gets trapped underneath it. we're all done washing and rinsing Evie. The last step of the bath is I'm gonna wring out all the extra water, squeezing it out of her face, her body, her legs. And as I'm doing this, I'm checking to see if I feel any slippery, sudsy spots. If I do happen to feel a spot that feels a little too slippery, I'll check my hand for any soap. And if there's soap, I'll go ahead and rinse off that spot again. What this prevents is possibly leaving soap on the dog's body and therefore preventing hot spots. Soap left on the body will be itchy for the dog, it'll irritate the skin, and if they can lick it or itch it, they will, which irritates the skin more, which can cause a long-term problem if the dog won't leave the hot spot alone. So we want to prevent that. Okay, woo, done with the bath. Now let's go ahead and grab our towel, and we will towel dry her. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to set my table up, bring it down so that it's not way up in the air. Okay, take this leash off Evie. Okay, good girl. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, stay here. Don't walk off the table. Actually, let's scoot back. Let's put this leash on you. A little too loose. Go ahead and tighten it up just a little. Right there, Evie. Now when we're towel drying, my goal is to remove as much of the excess water as I can. And as each spot of the towel gets wet, I'll just move to a dry spot until the towel is no longer absorbing any more water off of her body. That's the point where the blow dryer will do the rest of the drying. Okay. We're finished towel drying, and now we're going to start blow drying. The blow dryers are very loud. I'm going to be using 2 of them at the same time to maximize my time efficiency. To protect my ears, I use these little earbuds. I try to prevent hair from getting inside my ear. These earbuds provide me with a little bit of hearing protection as well as a little bit of music to keep me entertained. And for Evie, Evie gets cotton earplugs. Now, Evie is pretty comfortable with this process, but I always start with both of the dryers on high, down low, not on her body yet, to make sure that she doesn't panic. Blow drying is the scariest part of this grooming process. It's loud, there's air, and they're not used to this sort of stuff unless they've been groomed before. So I always introduce it slowly, make sure they don't panic, and once they're comfortable, I'll dry her body on high with both dryers, body, legs, tail. After the body is all done, I will turn this dryer off, put this dryer on low speed, and dry her face with just the one dryer. I'm not going to talk to you while I'm drying because you won't be able to hear anything I'm saying. Ready, Evie? Ready? Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so her body is now dry. We're gonna turn the dryer on low and I'm gonna dry her face. I want to avoid getting high pressure air into her eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. What that means, even though this is gonna be on low, it's still a high velocity blow dryer. So if the dryer is close to her skin, then I need to absolutely avoid it getting into any of those areas. But if it's far away, it's gonna be very low pressure, and then it can get in all of those areas and be safe. finished drying. Drying is a very energy consuming part of the groom. But we're all done. She was perfect for her body. She turned around a little bit, but she really didn't do too much. You saw right when I got started on her face, she was panicking. She was trying to get away from it, throwing her head all over the place. We just had to work slow, kind of hold on to her, and then she would eventually let me do a certain area, and we were able to get through it just slowly, pull back when I had to, and then when she's holding still, I was able to get close and get the areas done. So we are all done. Let's head back up front, and we will finish her haircut. Let's go, Evie. Let's go. One. Up, up. Good girl. Oakley, Dokley, artichokely. Let's go ahead and get your groom finished. Before I do any shading, I'm going to brush out her face, ears, and tail. This is a leave-in conditioner slash detangling spray. Spray it over her head and her ears. We'll start there. Sweet. Her head and ears are all brushed out. I'm going to lift the table up. Okay, Evie. Put the detangling spray on her tail. And then go ahead and brush her tail all the way out. You can hear the scratching sound that the brush is making as it's going through the tail. That's the bristles running into a hard mat and slowly working their way through it. Once that sound is all gone, you know that there are no more tangles in the tail. Okay. Can you hear the difference? Now all the tangles are brushed out. And if you want to verify, take a metal tooth comb, run it through the tail. If it goes through, all the mats are out. If it doesn't, you still got some more mats. All right, we're all done brushing. If I was going to be leaving her body long, I would also brush out her entire body. But she's going to be shaved down to a number 7, which is a pretty short blade. So we're not going to worry about brushing this at all. We're going to jump straight to shaving. Her head is a 7/8 of an inch clip-on. My cord is twisted. Now, I want to save her eyelashes. They're very long, they're very pretty, but they're very easy to accidentally shave with this clipper. So what I'm going to do is pull the hair up, that's on her eyebrow, and I'm going to pin down her eyelashes with my thumb. That way I cannot cut them with the clipper. Okay, now I'll do the same thing to the other side. The longer the eyelashes are, the easier this step is because it's easier to pin all the eyelashes down. Okay, eyelashes are pinned down. Go ahead and shave the top of her head. Now to shave the muzzle and also not shave the eyelashes, I'm going to lift them up and pin them up while I shave along her muzzle. Same thing on this side. And the eyelashes up. Okay. Wait. Wait. Okay, we're all done with the 7/8. Can't remember what the other lengths are. Double check. Okay, we're gonna do 1.5 inch on her ears and 2 inch on her tail. Go ahead and start on her tail. Up, up. I'm just going to shave all the way around it, following the direction of the hair. Good girl. Okay, tail is all shaved. Now we'll go ahead and do the last bit of clip-on shaving on her ears. Left ear's done. Wait. Right ear's done. And that is all of the clip-on shaving that we're going to do. Next step is going to be shaving her body with the number 7 blade. And to get this started, bring the table down just a little bit, and I'm going to set the line around her teddy bear. So to do this properly, the leash has to be loose, and I'm going to try to get it to be a nice smooth blend down to where I shave. So I'm going to start further back and then work my way up as I see that I can still take a little bit more. Okay, that's where I'm going to set my line. Looks good right there. I'll blend the line all the way around to underneath the ear. Come underneath her right ear. Wait. Hold still, Evie. To do this, I'm pulling the ear forward, and I'm bringing the line to come underneath and connect to the chin line. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the same thing along her neck. I'm going to take the length that I shaved her chin, and I'm going to bring that back and blend it in so that that's the bottom line of the teddy bear. Early. Lift the ear up and connect the 2 lines. Do the same thing on the other side. Let's see. Okay. I gotta bring chin up just a little bit from here. Better. And then I'm just going to make sure that I'm matching on both sides. And it looks like this side's a little higher, so I'm going to tighten this side up to match it. Okay. All right, now that the line is set around her teddy bear, I'm going to loosen the leash a little bit more and shave all around her neck where the leash is going to sit. Stay. Last thing I need to do to make it sure it's all smooth is back brush this area and go over it one more time. Okay, let's tighten this leash up. And shave her back. Yeah, now that that neck's all done, I'm going to get the back shaved. Up. Come here. You put your head on this side. Come here, Evie. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Stay. Right here, I'm blending in her tail, and I'm shaving just a little bit of the hairs that are actually growing on the tail. What that does is it comes underneath and it allows for a small potty path. But you have to be careful not to shave too much because it's really easy to accidentally shave too much of his tail and then it just looks bad. Wait. Good girl. Stay there. Stay. Wait. Come on, Evie. Wait. She's about to sit down right there. Nope. Oh, there she goes. Girl. Once again. A little bit longer. Get this other side of her back done. Wait. She has a couple rolls right here where there's just a lot of skin, and the fur is kind of getting rolled up in it. So I'm having to back brush and go over this spot quite a few times in order to get it smooth. We're almost there. Okay. Up. Up. Good girl. Wait, no. Stay up. Come on. Stay up. Wait. Wait, don't sit yet. She really wants to sit down. Happen to keep my left hand ready to put it under her belly so she doesn't sit. And of all the ways to protest, that's a pretty mild one. Wait. Sit. Come on, dude. Sit. Okay, her back is all done. Go ahead and sit, baby. You can sit. You don't want to sit now? You only wanted to sit because I was working on your back? Is that what was up? Silly girl. Okay, let's bring the table up. And we will shave her legs and her belly. Go ahead and check for plate temperature. Still doing good. Stay. On the edge. Let's not stand quite on the edge. So, if you notice what's happening right now, I am trying to push her towards the middle, and she is leaning into that pressure. She almost fell off of the table. She actually got closer to the edge after me pushing. So the way that I need to work against that, so what happens is the dogs lean into pressure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up her belly in the middle and then put her down, and then the pressure, the only pressure that she's feeling is up. So the only way that she can lean into it is by standing firm. So if you're ever having that happen where you're trying to move the dog's body and they're leaning into you, try lifting them up and then replacing them where you want them. Wait. Part of what she's doing is she wants to look that direction, so I'm going to put her head on this side of the bar, and hopefully that will prevent her from turning quite as much. And she's putting this leg way too close to the edge. It's making me uncomfortable. Stay. Come on. Stop doing that, Evie. Stop. this leg. Pick her foot up. Back to the bottom. Okay. Check my temps one more time. I'm going to shave at the top of the inside of her leg, and that's a delicate area right next to the belly, so I'm going to make sure the temperature is good, and it is. Now I can come and grab this. Wait. Stay. Hang on. Hang on. Come on, baby. Okay, back right leg is all done. Now let's get the front right. Stay up. Stay up. In order to shave the armpit, I will pull her leg forward and shave on the side of her leg, and then I'll push her arm back and I'll shave on the side of the belly. And that does a pretty good job of getting most of the hairs in the armpit shaved. Wait. check from the back. Down her belly. Okay, blade's finally gotten a little warm. I'll go ahead and switch it out. Okay, front right leg is all done, and so is her belly on the right side. Notice a little spot on the back. Whoopsie. Okay. Now we'll move on to the left side. Hey, what are you looking at, good girl? Is somebody out there? I was blocking her view from her seeing somebody out there. She was bobbing and weaving to look around me. Silly girl. Wait. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's that? Come out to the armpit. Do the same thing as the right side. Push the arm back. Shave along the belly. Pull the arm forward. And shave along the leg. Motorcycle. Vroom, vroom. Oh, oh, wait. Okay, I've got the armpit pretty close, but there's going to be a little bit that I'll have to get with my scissors. So I'm going to call that good enough. Okay. Front left leg is all done. Let's do our back right, or back left now. Oh boy, so much hair in the armpit. Because you have a different angle changes things. As soon as she stood up, I saw so much hair in her armpit. Okay. Now the front left leg is all done. Last leg. Yeah, this is wild. This number 7 is already warm. I heated up so much faster than the last one. That's interesting. I bet it gets oiled. It's just generating way more heat because there was a lot more friction. Okay. Got a cool blade. Let's go ahead and finish shaving her legs. You have to be careful when they tuck their tail between their legs. As you're shaving the inside, it can be easy to accidentally shave part of that tail. So I'm holding the tail out of the way as I'm doing this to make sure that I don't accidentally shave it. I got so much hair under my feet. It's lifting my toes up. Wait. Wait. Come here. Wait. Up. Up, up, up. Wait. Up, up. Come on. Stay up. Silly girl. Stay. Stay. Come on. No, no, don't sit. Come on, Evie. It's really important, as I'm shaving her bum right here and holding her tail, when she sits, I cannot lift her by her tail, or I can injure her spine or her tail. I have to lift underneath her hips, and that's the only way that you should ever be lifting. You have to be really careful. There's a temptation to just hang on to the tail and lift with it, but you can cause injuries, and you never know when a dog already has a tail or a spinal injury, and you can aggravate it so easily by doing that. inside the top of her leg. To get that, I'm going to come from underneath. Rock and roll. We are all done shaving her body, legs. All we have left to do now is some scissor trimming. Okay, I'm going to start with her feet. Since she's sitting down, I'll start with this front leg. Right there. To trim the feet, I like to brush everything down, trying to pull the hairs below the pads and trim anything that is growing past them. Then I'll flip the foot back over, brush the hairs out to the side, and round the foot around the outside. Same thing in the opposite direction. Round the outside. And then back brush, pulling all the hair between the toes up, and I'm rounding the top of the foot. Back brush a couple more times. Make sure I've gotten everything even. Okay. And what this ends up leaving us with is a very scruffy foot like this before to a very clean foot like this after. And now we just repeat that process for the rest of her feet. That foot's done. Okay. Not yet, not yet. Come on. I know, Evie. Tickling your toes. Okay. All the feet are now trimmed. Let's go ahead and bring the table down a little bit. Actually, just notice her armpits. Be easier to do her armpits while she's up high. So I'll come to the armpits, I'll pinch the skin, and I'm rolling it around to try and get the hairs to poke out. You did a pretty good job on the front. I can't really see anything. Looks like there's a little bit here on the back. I actually did a pretty good job of shaving most of it. Just a few hairs that needed trimmed on that side. Let's check this side. Few more hairs on this side. Just pinching and rolling, trying to see every little flap of skin, make sure that there's no long hairs under here. Okay, that looks pretty good now. Now I'm going to lower the table a little bit. And we're going to trim her tail. When I trim the tail after shaving it with a clip-on, I first comb everything out to one side. And what I noticed is that because the base of the tail is thicker, it kind of gets this triangular shape where it's real thick at the base and then it comes a little smaller towards the tip. And I want it to be all blended and even. So I'll blend the base in and I'll trim a little bit of the base down tighter so that it's a little bit more even with the end of the tail. Yeah. Okay, so the side of the base right here is looking good. Now I'll blend in the top. Stay up. And now I'll blend in the right side. A little difficult because she wants to sit down. And like I said before, I can't hold her up by her tail, so I have to ask her to stand and then work quickly while she's standing. Okay. Base is blended in pretty well. I'm going to start working my way down the tail. And this might work. She's sitting really close to the edge. So I'm going to try to trim the underside of her tail while she's sitting down and see if I can get that. A little tangle in there. There we go. Okay, underside looks good. Took off quite a bit. So I'm going to blend in the top just a little bit tighter to match it. Up. Yeah. Good girl. Okay, now the base looks good all the way around. I'm going to comb all the hairs to the underside, hold the tail straight out, and trim it from the bottom. And it's okay if she sits, because I can still access the bottom right here. Okay. That's good. Stand her up again. Now I'll comb everything out to the right side. I guess I can try to do it while she sits. And looking from above, I'm trimming any of the hairs that are longer than the rest of her tail. Same thing on the left side. Stay easy. You're okay. Something's looking a little funny. I'm going to comb it all down and trim the bottom from this right side. Yeah, there's a little short spot that I have to blend in. Okay. Okay, and now we comb it all along the top, and we see if there's anything else that's sitting long, doesn't blend in on top. Stay. Okay, our tail's all done. Let's go ahead and trim her ears. Forward. What is it? Sit. Good. Okay, to trim her ears, I'm going to comb everything back. I'm going to hold the ear up so that the back side is pointing down. And I will trim the hairs that are long and sticking out. I'll do the same thing. Come here. Come here, Evie. Front side. Come here. Wait. Let it hang down naturally. And trim the hairs that are a little long. I don't have to do a ton of trimming because I already set the length and by shaving the outside of the ears. So it's really just blending it in and making sure that they all look even. Anytime I'm trimming the inside of the ears, I pull these cotton balls out. There's a chance that the cotton balls actually pin hairs into the ear canal that I might need to trim. So I want them to be out. And of course, there were a couple hairs that were pinned in. And now I've got them trimmed, I won't have to do it twice. Okay, this left ear is looking pretty good. See just a little bit on the back side, kind of underneath. All right, I think that looks good. Go ahead and do her right ear. Just repeat the same process. Okay. Ears look good. Let's see if they're even. Okay. Ears look good. Final step of scissoring. We're going to do her head. This is a teddy bear head, and I've already set the lines on the back, so I'm going to comb all the hair back to that line, and I'm going to trim all the hairs that go past it and blend them in. And I'm combing the hairs over the ears to get them blended in, now that the back of the head is pretty close. Okay, now I'm going to tip the head up, comb it all back once again, and looking at it from this more upright angle, trim the hairs that are long and blend them in to the line that we've already blended. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to come up to line 2 in front of her eyes, and I'm going to clean up the diamond or the stop. And we have to remember that we're doing eyelashes on her, so anytime I trim anything around this area, I'm going to make sure that the eyelashes are pinned back in a way so that I cannot accidentally cut them. And what I'm trying to cut here is these hairs that are growing in between the eyes on top of the nose. We call this the diamond or the stop. We want this trimmed but never shaved on a doodle. The hairs that are growing in front of the eyes, down the muzzle, get trimmed. Okay, that looks pretty good on her right side. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the left. Grab her eyelashes, pin them back. Let's see, we'll do it like this. My thumb. And now isolate the hairs that are in the diamond and start trimming them. Okay, now I can see in between her eyes, and I can very easily see where the eyelashes are, so I'm not afraid that I'm going to cut them anymore, and I'm going to finish cleaning up the diamond. Okay. Now that the diamond is fully trimmed, I'm going to pin her eyelashes down on this side, separate, make sure that I'm not pinning down hairs that would be considered part of the eyebrow, just the eyelashes. Okay, now that I've got these down, I'll take my comb, pull all the hairs forward, and anything that came past my line that I set to diamond gets trimmed. Okay, now it should be very easy to tell which hairs are part of the eyelashes and which hairs are part of the top of her head. So as I comb things forward now, I'm going to round and blend in this line into the top of the head. And I'll just blend it all the way back. Okay. That side's looking really good. Probably a little more on top, but I'm going to do her left side before I finish the top. The same thing, I'm going to pin the eyelashes, separate the eyebrows. Make sure that I don't have any of the eyebrows pinned. Comb it all forward. And trim it to the line that I set at the diamond. Wait. Okay, hang on. So she's looking to the side, and it's pulling these hairs further forward. So I'm gonna wait until she's not doing that. I'm gonna try to give her room to look this way so that she stops doing that. That can pull hairs in front of the eye that I don't necessarily want to trim yet. Okay. All right, now her eyelashes are distinct and separate. Now I can start combing this stuff forward, and I can easily trim these hairs and make sure that I don't accidentally cut the eyebrows or the eyelashes. Okay. Now start blending into the top. And just comb back and forward, blending in the hairs as I can separate them and determine which ones are longer than the lines that I've already set. Okay, this is looking good. Now I'm going to blend the top of the head into the cheek. In order to do that, I flip the ear back, comb all the hairs from the cheek towards the back of the ear, and trim the hairs that come past the ear canal. You have to be a little careful determining which hairs are growing on top of the head versus which ones are on the side when you trim this part. You can accidentally take too much off of the top and then you'll have a hole. You want to avoid doing that. But I'm going to comb all these hairs back and trim them. And now I can look at the side of the cheek from the front, and I can blend in all of this from looking above and in front. Flip the ear over. Looks like a few of these hairs that I thought were growing from the top are in fact growing from the top, but they're still too long coming over the ear. So we can go ahead and blend these in. And it looks like there's still just a little bit too much on the ears right here. There we go. That's looking nice now. No, still a little too much. So I'm going to come to the side. I'm actually going to trim it from over here. Okay. Now that I have the side very clear, crisp, clean, I can see that there's even more above her ears that need to be trimmed. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Okay, top of her head looks good. Now I'll blend the top of the head into the cheek over here. Stay. And blend the cheek down into the chin. Okay, that looks good. Match it on this side. Okay. You're looking pretty good. Double check the top of her head with her face pointing straight down. Makes a lot of the hairs float forward that we couldn't necessarily see before. And there's just a couple that are still too long. All right. Oh yeah, you're looking so good. All right, all that we have left now is the chin and the muzzle. Close. So I'll comb all the hairs down to her chin. Wait. Wait. Now that the neckline is set to the chin, I'll follow it up to the tip of the muzzle, combing everything down. Wait. the chin down on this side. Steady. Okay. Chin's looking pretty good. I'm now going to do the muzzle. Start with her left side. While looking from a top view, I comb all the hairs out to the side, and then I blend them in from the muzzle back to the ear and make sure that they're all blended. Be a little careful. Her eyelashes again right here. Let's see if I can separate them. Okay, so now I have to comb the hair out again while I hold the eyelashes up. This is a little awkward, but it's important to make sure that I don't accidentally trim them. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now I'm going to come down to the muzzle. Alright, looking pretty good. I'll comb the hairs in front of her lips, straight down, trying to pull them all out of her mouth. And then all the hairs that grow from the top lip get trimmed just to the bottom of the top lip. Stay. That'll help keep the front of the mouth clean and separate the top lip from the bottom lip. Close enough. She's got a bunch of hairs that want to go in her mouth. I'm going to comb them all out and trim them to match the rest of the lines that I've set. Okay, her left side is looking really close to being done. Before I try to get it completely perfect, I'm going to match the right side to it and make sure that I don't accidentally take this side too tight, because then if I do, I have to match her left side, and I don't want to waste time perfecting the left side before the right side is close to matching. Okay, so I'm going to comb all these hairs out. Go ahead and trim the ones on the muzzle. And as I come back to the cheek, I'm going to separate her eyelashes. Wait, stay. Okay, I've got the eyelashes pinned up. Close. I'm going to comb her muzzle out to the side again. And try to trim these. Close. This side was a lot closer than her left side was, so I didn't have to take too much. Now I'll come back to the muzzle, blend it into that same spot. A little difficult. I'm trying not to hold the hairs on the top of her nose because they'll kind of collect the greases from my finger and they'll get flat and then it doesn't look as good. Close. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Come here. Come on. Okay, we're getting close to finishing. I'm going to go ahead and mute the microphones. I'm going to call her owner real quick, so hang on just a moment for me. Okay. Her owner just pulled up. Wait, Evie. Wait. Let's finish up her face so that she can go home. Stay. Hang on. I think she saw him, which might make this a little difficult to finish her up. Wait. Stay. Stay. try to snag a picture. Evie. Evie, hey. Evie. Evie girl. Can you get a picture of your face, please? This one still. This one still. Yeah. Evie. Okay. One of those is gonna have to work. Alright, let's clean her ears and then she will be all done. Sweet. That ear was very clean. This is the ear, her left ear is the one that had a little bit of inflammation, and it is also a little dirty. Her right ear had almost nothing in it, and her left has a pretty solid amount of wax. I'm gonna do, finish up this ear, is grab a few Q-tips. Just wipe out all the crevices of this ear. All right. There we go. Now that she gave me a good head shake, I'm going to look at her face one more time to see what hairs popped up, if any, that still need trim. Stay. Okay. Wait. Okay. All done. All right, everybody. That's the end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed.